All right, all right. Good evening, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast. We are here this evening with the Honorable Attorney Richard Ryles. He is joining us here this evening to tell everyone here on the Adams Brothers Podcast and our viewers why he should be the next Palm Beach County Commissioner in District 7 in Palm Beach County. So, good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. So we know you're a little pressed for time, sir. So go ahead and tell our viewers a little bit about you and your background and what you do.
Well, I'm a native of Palm Beach County, born and raised right here in West Palm Beach. I was a high school athlete, went away to college and played at the University of Illinois. And then I went to Howard University School of Law, returned here in 1990. And I've been practicing as a trial lawyer for nearly 33 years now. And I've had quite a number of notable cases, and I have my I guess passion is my community and my people. I am a self-taught historian, a member of the Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
Hugh Dogs.
And I am married with 4 children and 1 deceased. And so I've had a whole lot of ups and downs in life and experiences that I think well equipped me for what I'm attempting to obtain right now, which is to become a county commissioner. I'm also a former City of West Palm Beach City Commissioner.
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay. Former West Palm Beach City Commissioner. Okay.
So you're not a novice. You're not new to this.
Yeah, you've been a politician before, elected politician before then.
Yes, I have. I'm not new. I have helped pretty much every Black politician in Palm Beach County over the last 30 years. I participated in some way in their campaigns, whether it be writing their speeches or helping them with campaign strategy. So I'm very well aware of what I'm getting myself into.
Well, you sound just like you are ready to hit the road running and ready to go. So I got a chance to meet you at the Black Lux picnic, and I saw you, and I just loved the way that you were speaking, and I went up to you immediately after you left the stage, and I want you to come on the podcast and see if we can help brothers like you get elected up there in Palm Beach County, because we need some intelligent Black people that's going to fight for us, our people up there in Palm Beach County. So what was that you were involved in? What was that, Wayne?
Yes, I was reading up on you, and I see you were one of the attorneys in one of the Rosewood cases.
Yes. I had the fortune of a lady coming to my office, and it tells you how great of an education we have been receiving historically here in Palm Beach County, is that she told me that she was a survivor of the Rosewood massacre, and I had no idea where Rosewood was, what Rosewood was, or anything. And she went on to share that she had been a survivor and what happened as a result of a white woman falsely accusing a Black man of raping her, which is a trope that occurs too often in America. And we were able to assist her in her bid to obtain a portion of the $2.1 million that was granted as reparations by the state of Florida, as well as craft the scholarship fund that is still in existence now for any survivors of survivors to attend a Florida college. And in fact, one of the employees in my office, his daughter is a survivor of a survivor, and she not only finished FAMU, but FAMU's pharmacy school. And so that made me proud that some work that I did when I was 31 years old is still working today.
Well, good for you.
That is great to hear that you were. Now I can say at least I know one of the attorneys that worked on the Rosewood case.
Right. And we all know what happened up there in Rosewood, Florida.
That was in 1923. Am I correct?
Yes, 1923, January 1st.
Right. So let's get on to a couple of questions here about as far as it relates to the county commission. Should the county encourage building and sensible development? Since there's not that many people are always looking for places to live, and it's not that many places available, and the prices are through the roof right now. So that my question again is, should the county encourage building and sensible development?
I think your question presupposes the answer, which of course they should have some hand in building and sensible building. Unfortunately, in Palm Beach County, because of just like Broward County, the amount of available land is limited. Yes. And so the building now, or the developers have focused their attention almost like the colonists that came over on the Mayflower, on the African American community. And I really do consider gentrification a form of neo-colonialism, yes, a new form of colonialism. And so they have placed their eyes on the historic African American communities. They bought most of it up. Unfortunately, we because our economics are such, are easy targets, because as soon as mama dies, the family wants to sell the house and go, yes, about their business and take the money and run. And we are on the verge of losing all of our historic African American community here in Palm Beach County. And so, although I believe the development is necessary, I don't think that it should be at the expense of African Americans. But I think a more critical issue is the fact that our wage gap is so significant. Average wages for African American are $45,000 in Palm Beach County, and for whites, $190,000. And that has, of course, to do with the fact that we're in such close proximity to Billionaires Row over in Palm Beach. Right. But still, there is a significant wage gap. And when you think about the fact that the median price for a home in Palm Beach County is $550,000, and most banks want to give you a loan for 3 times your yearly wage, well, it's clear to see that home ownership is going to elude most African Americans. And when they talk about building affordable housing, we still don't even come to the threshold necessary to afford affordable housing in many times. And so I think that we have to come up with some new strategies. I have some ideas on how to bridge that gap so that African Americans can likewise own homes. As I told you, I'm a self-taught historian, and I'm going to recommend a book for everybody. Black History AF is probably one of the very best books that I have read in this last 10 years. And in that book, it talked about how just after slavery, after Sherman burned down Atlanta, and the discussion was about what ultimately became 40 Acres and a Mule. General Sherman went to 20 black pastors and asked them, what would it take for African Americans to be able to succeed in America? And what those pastors told them then in 1865 is still true today. They told them, 1, we need land, and land is money. Land helps you with your equity. You can build a business. You can send your children to college. And so you need land. That's your economic base. Number 2, we need education. And within 1 year, the AME Church was building universities like Edward Waters in Jacksonville, and Allen University, and Wilberforce University. And then lastly, we need the vote. And as you can see, currently, the Republicans are going back to an old playbook that was implemented just after African Americans got the vote after the 13th Amendment today. They're trying to take away our vote. And with the price of housing, they've already taken away our land. And so we have to understand the game in America, and we have to play it accordingly. And we only can do that with leadership that is intentional about making sure that we get our share and understands why we need to get those things that will give us an opportunity to be competitive in this country.
And that's why it's important to get someone that's with some experience in there to fight for you, you know, because and you have, like you say, you have to know the game, or you know you're not going to win. And that's good. When you're working with the county, and I know you say you were also elected to the West Palm Beach City Commission, I believe. So you have some experience in working with budgets. So what is your experience with working with budgets?
Well, I mean, obviously the county budget is based on our ad valorem tax dollars, and I am an advocate of the people's budget. And what that is a process whereby we lay out what monies we have available to us, whether it be through the tax dollars that we get or grant dollars, and we allow the community some input into how those dollars are spent. Far too often, dollars that are generated from the African American community never come back, whether it be because of our purchasing habits or whether it be because the government finds other what they call more important uses for the money that we put in. And so I don't think that most African American communities get a fair share of the tax dollars that they expend into for that every other citizen pays. I don't think that the money's come back to our schools. I don't think the money's come back to our neighborhoods and to the things that keep our neighborhoods looking the way other neighborhoods look. I don't have to drive down Sistrunk in Broward or any other Black community in Florida and know that community probably looks today as it did 50 years ago. That's no different in Palm Beach County, and it's probably no different down where you are. Right. The only difference might be if there's some encroachment by developers and they see you as an easy mark because you have low value property, and they now are going to expand their downtown towards your community. And that is the playbook wherever you go. Whatever, just like Martin Luther King runs through the hood in West Palm Beach, in Broward County, in Dade County, yes, in Texas, in California, the playbook is the same.
It's just the same. Every Black community, you got an MLK running down through the hood, like you say.
Yeah.
You know?
And that playbook that you're referring to, I had to think back, because like you, I consider myself a historian. I've been true to American history and Black history ever since I was probably 9 or 10 years old. My brother and my family can tell you. And that was Lee Atwater, the Southern strategist guy. Yep. Yep. He wrote the playbook. I believe that was 1972, 71 or 72.
Well,
Lee Atwater.
Actually, what he did was incorporate the Dixie strategy, was put in by Goldwater in the 65, 60, 62, 65. And so he sharpened it up for Reagan. And what a lot of people don't know is that Reagan kicked his campaign off at the Nashua
Mississippi
County Fair. That's right, the place where the 3 civil rights workers had been found dead. Yep.
Yeah.
And so Reagan told you who he was, and the subliminal message, if you're not aware of your history, gets lost on you. But when you do know your history, you see what the game plan is.
That's right. It definitely makes you, Mr. Ryles, way more conscious when you know your history, and then you can put it all together like how you are doing. I got a few questions for you too. If new resources were available, what area of county resources would you feel more needed the additional resources at the county level?
Oh, that's clear, man. Our schools are horrible. And I'm a product of the public school system. I'm a son of a multi-generational school teachers. But we have, well, first of all, the schools in Palm Beach County are at segregation levels equal to 1968. There are multiple schools in elementary schools and middle schools where the children are reading, where 80% or more do not read on grade level. Our dropout rate is approaching that of Mississippi. And so the resources necessary to bring our schools and give the resources such that our schools can be competitive, our children can be competitive, are going to require more than at school intensive training. It's going to require that we get some of these parents involved. A lot of people want to blame the schools, and I do hold them accountable. But what we have to remember is that the parents today are the grandchildren of my generation for the most part, or the children of my generation for the most part. And my generation went through the crack epidemic. And so as a result, we have some wholesale issues that supersede school. You know, my mother read to me. I think that a lot of mothers no longer read to their children, especially in the schools where you have 88% of the children not reading on grade level.
Right.
And so providing the kind of resources necessary for our schools to thrive and our students to be the best that they can be would be one of the first things that I would want to concentrate on. But I think that the power of the position isn't in the enumerated powers of the that are set out for a county commissioner. The power of the position is in the voice, speaking up, and holding not only the white folks accountable, but Black faces in high places that don't do anything for Black folks are just as bad as white faces that have no intention of doing anything for Black people. And so we need to hold our what should be our safety net organizations, our fraternal organizations, our sororities, our urban leagues, our NAACPs, our pastoral community. We need to hold them accountable to the community. You know, I drove through one little area of West Palm Beach where there were 22 churches within a seven block area, and not one of them had an external ministry. That's terrible.
Yes.
Given the attack on education by Ron DeSantis, you know, what we knew in 1866 is that we needed education. We knew that. And we didn't wait on white folks to give us an education. We created our own universities. My great grandfather was one of the first trustees at Edward Waters University in Jacksonville.
My dad went to Edward Waters.
That university was created and established in 1866, 1 year after slavery. So if 1 year after slavery, when it was illegal for Black people to read, you could create a university that stands to today, we could do better than we're doing. And so there is some fault that lies with us, but yes. But I believe that the voice of the position and calling these things out and organizing our people, that's one of the I think major factors that we have to understand is that we will talk ourselves out of almost everything. And I'm going to give you an example. After Hurricane Ian, I think Stevie Wonder wearing Ray Charles glasses would know that the Black community over in Fort Myers was not going to get the same resources as Sanibel, Captiva, and the other communities, Fort Myers Beach. They weren't going to get them.
Right.
So I organized all the nonprofits, Black nonprofits and Caribbean nonprofits and churches into something, and we called it the Black Unity Coalition, in order to take resources over and feed and bring blood pressure medicine and diabetes medications to the people, and we were going to service our own people. And I'm going to tell you that it was a little disheartening that we had one group of individuals who who spent at least 2 meetings on what we were going to name the organization. And 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 so when it came time to go, I knew it was time to go, but there were people who still wanted to deliberate. Are we going to take this? Are we going to take that? And so finally, as a leader, I said, we're leaving Monday morning at 5 a.m. There will be 3 buses. We have them full. You're either on the bus or you aren't. Now, all the buses were full with stuff. We didn't have all the people that started with us. And you can probably imagine which group didn't show up. They're not showing up to a great extent in our communities.
Yeah.
But at any rate, we fed 600 people. We provided feminine products to 300 women. We provided baby diapers and formula to 300 children. And we provided medication to over 250 elderly people for high blood pressure and diabetes.
That's great.
Things that they hadn't gotten for weeks. And so what that experience taught me was that leaders have to lead. If you see a need in the community, it doesn't require you to be told. And unfortunately, the leadership in our community has to be told, almost like your child. You know, they leave their shoes in the middle of the room. You got to tell them to pick their shoes up.
That's right.
Okay. And so I think that, quite honestly, quite a number of our leadership aren't leaders. They have to be told. They like titles. They like to be called senator this or commissioner that, or they're more interested in the title than they are in the work.
Right.
I got some great titles. I don't need another title. My titles are father, son, uncle, grandson. So I don't need any more titles. Those titles are sufficient. What I need are people to work with me in order to change the dynamic, because all we got is us, because ain't nobody coming to save us.
That's right.
And you know what, Mr. Ryles, Attorney Ryles, whenever you do, say what you just said about the Black politicians in our community, then you get other Blacks go to comment about, oh, you attacking a Black person. The thing our people hold our politicians the least accountable. Like you say, our politicians, just like a lot of pastors and other people, and I don't mean to pick on them, they love titles.
Yeah.
We love titles. If you some of our commissioners, you can go to people in office, and if you don't refer to them by their elected name, they will really catch an attitude with you and fall out with you.
That's right. Yeah.
Also, Attorney, what part of the county budget should be shielded from cuts if you were elected?
We know probably education. You would just
we know education.
Education.
What other
Right.
part of the county budget?
Well, I certainly think that we're going to have to do something about the homeless issue here in Palm Beach County. I was preparing one of my campaign pieces this morning, and I get a knock at my office door, and it's a young lady who was I saw her grow up in my church, along with one of my 6th grade classmates, and they are 2 women sleeping in a car with a baby. And they came to me because they had gone to the shelter, and the shelter wouldn't take them because they had the baby. They had gone to every resource in Palm Beach County, which are very limited. And there was no, as they said when they had to sleep in the manger, there was no room in the inn. And so I think that we have to reorder our priorities as humans. If we have a sizable unhoused community, we need to be, I thought we were the richest country in the world. Well, how does the richest country in the world have the homeless issues that we have? I mean, hell, when you look at what Colonel Gaddafi did in Libya, if you you got $20,000 when you got married, everyone in Libya got free electricity and free gas. You got $60,000 to go to college of your choice. And so if they could do that in Libya, why do we have the issues of taking care of the least of the in America? It just makes no sense to me. And so that would be an area of the budget where I think that more needs to be spent, and it would be off limits until we get this housing problem under control. Now, I want to say this. I don't believe that we wait until people are unhoused to start helping them.
Right.
There are some key indicators that let you know that somebody's on their way to homelessness. An eviction filing, that lets you know that that person is pretty soon, 3 months, going to be out of a house.
Right.
The loss of a job. And so if we understand how people ultimately may become homeless, that don't have mental illness and don't have any doesn't have a tragic incident occur, there are some safety net precautions that we can put in place in order to reduce the number of people who end up working in homes, especially. So I would make sure that we had resources for that. Having been a person who did not have health insurance for a short period of time, I would make sure that the county had the resources necessary to make sure that people can get their life-saving medication. I'll give you a quick story. I went through a divorce and lost my health insurance, and I went popping up to the and I'm a lawyer and I make decent money, and I went to the pharmacy to get I have a medication called Xarelto, which is a blood thinner because I have AFib.
Right.
And they filled the medicine, and then they rung it up, and they told me $3,100. And I'm like, what? Now imagine if I didn't have that $3,100, my chance of a stroke goes up 90% without that medication. Now, would it be cheaper for the government to make sure that I got that medication, or allow me to have a stroke and then I end up for the remainder of my days in a county home because I don't have an income and can't and don't have any way of taking care of myself?
Right.
It's these kind of foolhardy, cruel decisions that I would be looking at in terms of my budgeting long term, because I understand the real life impact that those decisions can have on everyday citizens.
That's good. That's a very good analogy you just presented to us right
Definitely.
there. And we know you're on a tight schedule there, Attorney Richard Ryles. So we're gonna ask you to tell the voters, look in the camera and tell the voters why they should elect you to the Palm Beach County Commission in District 7, and just talk to them. Tell them why they should elect you.
And before you do that, I wanted to piggyback off of something you said, Attorney Ryles, when you talked about Colonel Gaddafi. A lot of people don't know Colonel Gaddafi wanted to give the Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, Minister Farrakhan, $1 million, the same thing that pretty much that the Trump family received money from the Saudis, but the Clinton administration stopped it. Yeah. He was going to fix the neighborhoods up in the Chicago area. He was going to invest it in the neighborhoods, invest it in the business, and our Democrats, the Clinton administration, stopped the $1 million from going to Farrakhan. That just shows you right there too how Black economic structure has been hindered by the government. I just wanted to make that note there.
Right.
To the viewers on piggybacking on what you said, and I'll let you go on and just tell the voters what Darryl had said.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes, you got the floor.
All right. Well, in brief, I believe that we need more than performative leadership. And what I mean by that is we need people who are willing to get down and dirty and do the work. I don't get any great glee out of having a title. What I'm looking to do is change lives and to provide our share of the pie that we have not received for since we've been here. I mean, things have not changed materially here in Palm Beach County, at least in my lifetime. for the vast majority of citizens. And so I would work to make sure that every child has the same opportunity to excel to their best ability. And that requires being intentional about making sure that they have opportunities, but it also requires us to be intentional about making sure that the obstacles that to their success are removed. And so being fully aware of those things that kept me from being successful, I intend to try and cut to the chase and speak truth to power. People ask me, this is not a popularity contest. And people say, Ryles, why you don't smile more? Black people love for you to smile. You know that.
Yes, they do.
And so they say, Ryles, why you don't smile more? I said, well, if you've read James Baldwin, he said to be Negro in America and to be relatively conscious is to be in a constant state of rage. And so if you look at our schools and see that 88% of the children can't read, there's nothing to smile about. If you're smiling, you're crazy. If you look at our income disparity, we make $45,000 to a white person's $190,000. If you're smiling, you're crazy. And so I say to any potential voter, I don't have time to smile right now because we got too much work to do. And I'm about the business of trying to get that done. And I thank you for your time this evening.
Profoundly stated.
And I wish that you were here in Broward County because listening to you talk,
right.
I know right off the bat, me and you will mesh very well because of our we have one thing in common, and that's the history being historians. I know you know about Dr. Claude Anderson.
Oh, absolutely. I
got all his books here.
I love all his TikToks too.
Right.
That's right.
Right. And I heard the way you were speaking at the Black Lux up there, and I said, I got to get this brother on the podcast here, man. You speak so eloquently, man, and man, I just love to hear you talk. So, man, we've been talking to Attorney Richard Ryles. He is running for the Palm Beach County Commission seat in District 7. He is a candidate. And when is the election, Attorney Ryles?
August 20th, 2024.
Primary.
August 20th. So
primary.
In the primary, August 20th. So if you'd like to come back on again before the 20th, we'd love to have you back on our Adams Brothers podcast, man. Anything we can do to help you get elected up there, my brother, just let us know, man. You got my number. I have your number, and we want to thank you for stopping by. And
I would definitely vote for you without.
If we were in Palm Beach County,
you would get my vote.
But we're gonna spread the word. Thank you for stopping by, and have a wonderful evening, sir.
You too. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You have a good evening, and you be blessed.
All right. Bye-bye now.